What's up, guys? How's it going?
Let's just get straight into it. Title of this email is "My Uncle is a Creep." Okay, I thought this would be a good one to do literally from just reading the title, because I'm pretty sure everyone's got a creepy uncle, right? Anyway, so to begin, I was super shy when it came to my uncle. Like, he was in fact very handsome, so I didn't want to catch any feelings with him knowing he is my uncle. So I never really paid attention to him, but one day in a family gathering he was looking so dashing I couldn't lower my gaze.
What?
You don't need to lower your gaze with your uncle. Your uncle is...
Who's your uncle?
Your uncle's like your mahram. It's like he's your dad, like he can see you without a scarf on, you know what I mean? Anyway, I kept on staring at him throughout the gathering. He caught me staring and he looked at me. He winked and smiled. I was totally weirded out because I never thought my uncle would do such a thing. But then he brought me to his room, brackets which I found very odd. Door locked. He put his hands on my face and leaned in to kiss me. I was just there shocked, not knowing what to do or say, being that I too had feelings for him. I just started to cry and ran off. The next time I see him, what in the hell should I do? By the way, I haven't told anyone that I had feelings for him. Please help me. I'm afraid he might say, well, why was she looking at me like that in the first place? This person hasn't given us any details of how old she is or how old her uncle is.
Well, so we don't really know.
So we don't really know. If you're a minor, if you're young, that is sexual abuse. Unless he's just as young as you. That's a whole other story, because loads of people have really young uncles and aunties, don't they?
Do.
Like the same ages of them or even younger.
Yeah.
It sounds
like an older guy.
Sounds like he's an older guy.
I'm pretty sure of it.
It sounds like he's a little bit older, and it sounds like you might be
very young.
17, 18, 16, 17, 18 possibly. Regardless of the age, this is not acceptable behaviour.
No, it's not acceptable from your uncle at all. It happens a lot with young girls. Like, they look at the teachers and they go, oh yeah, he's handsome. Even if you find someone dashing, alright, you're looking, yeah, whatever. But for him to lock the door and kiss you is some weird shit. I would tell your mum or your dad if I were you. Okay, it's fine to think your uncle is handsome, you know. It's just like if you think your dad's handsome, you know. If you think it's fine, but I mean, not in that kind of that way, not in attraction way. That is weird.
Yeah, because your uncle is like your, you know, it's like your dad. It's your he's your mahram.
Like, that shouldn't happen.
Unless she's from a really big family and he's not actually her uncle, they just call him an uncle.
You do have those families as well.
Yeah. When I say uncle, I literally mean like your mum's brother or your dad's brother.
Well, that's what an uncle is.
Yeah, but some people think, oh, they just say, like you could be somebody's uncle.
Right. A family friend is not an uncle. An uncle is your mother's brother or your dad's brother. Yeah. And that's it. Yeah. That's where it ends. That's what an uncle is.
But doesn't mean to say that if he is a real uncle that this is okay. That's definitely not okay.
No.
That's worse, sorry.
Yeah, it's worse.
Yeah, if he was a fake uncle, this would be a slightly better situation. Still horrific, but slightly.
What you need to do is you need to tell your parents.
100%.
And your parents, if you are underage, need to call the bloody police.
Yeah,
that's what they need to do. Because that, if you are underage, is some weird shit.
If you're scared about him saying, well, why was she looking at me like that in the first place? That's no excuse for him to act on anything. What, you're just looking? What, you're not allowed to look at people now?
Alright, you looked, whatever.
He's your uncle,
the problem is, he should know better.
He took advantage of you.
Whoa, man, it's just...
He took advantage of you before anything else happens, because obviously he sounds like he's very much in control here. He took you... Look, he took you in his room and locked the door. Next time he tries to do that, don't go with him, because you know the risks there. Don't go into a room with him. Don't be lured into a room with him.
Oh my god, you're crazy, man.
Do not do it.
What do you think?
You don't know what the next thing could be.
I am telling you.
Before it gets too late, you better tell somebody. I'm telling you now.
Look. To all the young girls out there, right? Do not go into a room alone with another man like that. Never. If he takes you away,
even if he's your actual uncle.
No,
never. If he's going...
If there's only you two in one room.
Let's say, for example, we're chilling in the living room, right? and then your mum goes to the bathroom and your dad goes to get something, literally 2 minutes, then you're left in the living room with your uncle and everyone's watching TV and you carry on watching TV. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's another completely different thing.
But if your uncle is telling you to come upstairs to his room or taking you to a room,
the door was locked. Nobody even probably knew you were in there. Thank God he didn't bloody rape you, because that could have happened.
That's what I'm saying.
Very easily.
Don't go anywhere with him.
You should
again,
never.
Because you don't know what the next thing will
You
be.
should. To all the girls out there, you should never ever put yourself in that sort of situation. Never, because you don't know what the person's gonna do.
Just because he's a family member or a family friend, or if you think, or if you're in a family house,
you don't know him.
That doesn't mean anything. If you feel something, this is what I want to say to all the girls and the guys actually. You know, trust what you're feeling in your chest. Trust your feelings, basically. You know, everybody has that sense of danger or sense of like, this doesn't quite feel right.
Even
but they might feel pressured to carry on, things like that. That first instinct of feeling that you get, you need to act on it. As soon as you kind of just
peer pressure. They talk you into it. They're just like, oh yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Look, use your brain. Do not be alone.
Right, it's not right.
Yeah. Do not be alone.
It's that simple.
Because we've heard of so many flipping stories, man. So many stories where
it's usually a family member.
A family member, literally, I don't know, you know, they take them to a room or whatever, and they're there for literally 5 minutes. And
that's all it takes.
That's all it takes is 5 minutes.
Not even 5 minutes. And also they take advantage because they know they're a family member, and because they probably know that your parents, their brother or their sister or whatever it is,
because they know you're gonna shut up.
Yeah,
they know you're not gonna open your mouth. Yeah. They know for a fact, because they're like, oh well, if she opens her mouth, she's young, I can get away with it. She doesn't want to split up the family. She doesn't want to do all this. I'll never get done for this shit. They know for a fact, especially those ones that come in from like other countries and they come to visit. They know as soon as they get back on the plane, whatever, man.
You know what? It doesn't matter. You know, with like young kids, you know, when everyone's like, who's your uncle, or it's your aunties, mainly uncles, but you don't know them that well, but because he's your family member, you still have to kind of like be okay with it. That's a risk there. But then there's also the risk of the ones that you do know very well, and they use that trust that you have as an advantage.
Yeah.
And they use it to manipulate you, you know, and they get in your head.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
And they make you feel safe. Yeah, like that's your safe place, but it's not.
Or they make you feel like what's going on is fine, it's okay. Or they make you feel like if you tell anybody, you're the one who's gonna look like just like you're worried that he might turn around and say, well, why was she looking at me? That's no excuse.
Look, we're not saying like every uncle is a creep or every every man is a creep. We're not saying that. We're saying like you have to be careful. You really have to be careful, because the risk of you getting sexually abused compared to you just disrespecting him by saying no. You tell him no as in, no, I'm not coming with you. Or you walk out the room briskly, or you go somewhere, or somebody's there with you already.
One of those loudmouth kids, you know, if he's there and he's giving you the face like, let's go to follow me, say out loudly, oh, sorry, what was that, uncle?
Yeah,
you want me to go where? Sorry? You need to be on the ball, and I'm talking about girls as young as 10, like I'm talking about all age girls, be on the ball. And if you're girls who are like 17, 18, and you got the younger sisters, you know, 6, 7, 8, be on the ball with your younger sisters and who is around them, family members. You know, this is turning into thingy, but
people might think that we're crazy for thinking this, but you have no idea the emails we get. You have not a clue.
Basically, right now we're in contact with a few organizations to sit down and do a proper video giving you guys some solid step-by-step advice on what to do next, etc., things like that.
This stuff is really serious. I mean, the emails we get about relatives, the stuff they do to these young girls is crazy.
It's always a relative.
It's crazy. And
they're all in the emails anyway, they've all gotten away with it.
Yeah, and all of them.
Because it's a family member and the mum and dad don't believe her. If you have a daughter, you know, 16, 17, and she's come and said to you, you know, this and this happened, and you've kind of pushed it aside as in like, oh, she's doing it for attention, she's doing it forever. Any child who just indicates that something might have happened, just one little indication of anything, you need to take that seriously, and you need to report it straight. You need to take action straight away. You always have to believe that child.
Believe your child, because even if it's not the truth, as
something happened for them to say that.
Yeah, something happened, but at least you take that precaution.
Yeah.
That, you know, there's a chance of it being the truth. There is a chance. There's a high chance, especially your child just coming out of nowhere and telling you that stuff. For you to just dismiss them is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it happens all the time. For you to just dismiss them because it's a relative.
Not even because shame.
Do you know why they don't come around and tell you this stuff? This all stems from your relationship with your kids. You need to be their friend. You need to be there for them to, you know, be able to be comfortable to tell you.
They need to be able to tell you.
Yeah. That's what you're there for.
And them not worry that they're going to be the ones that get in trouble over it.
You need to make them comfortable enough for them to tell you absolutely everything.
Because there are some sick people in this world.
Yeah, and
they could be family, honestly.
If they don't like someone, or they're getting a bad vibe from someone, if they are, you should know that. It's your responsibility. For
example, if your child comes up to you and says, I'm getting a bad vibe from my uncle who happens to be your brother, if it was like, let's say, my brother, right? So like, although I've grown up with my brothers, I'm gonna take what my daughter said seriously, and I'm gonna, even if she's just getting a bad vibe, as in like she's not comfortable. For example, there's loads of parents like, go on, go with your uncle. No, you have to go with your uncle to shop. Like, you have to do as your uncle. Like, if your child doesn't feel comfortable, you shouldn't force a child. You know, even something as small as like, you know, when you force a child to kiss. You know little kids now, oh, Hetty Booster, give me a kiss.
If he or she does not want to kiss.
Hetty Booster to like uncles and aunties, like even just to aunties, it doesn't even have to be a man. Even to like my grandmother, if I wasn't comfortable giving a kiss, then you know what kids are like, I don't want it. But we force kids because it's cute, right? No, you have to give your grandma a kiss, you have to give your aunt, you have to give your uncle a kiss. But if they feel uncomfortable, that's their instinct. So what are we teaching these young kids if we're telling them, because it's your uncle, you have to kiss him, or because your uncle, you have to say yes, or if he wants to kiss, you have to say yes just because your uncle? You're teaching them that you're teaching them that they can't say no to family members.
Yes.
So when you know what I mean?
It's okay to say no. You have to teach them it's okay to say no.
Yeah, whether it's going to offend a family member or not. Sod the offensiveness, honestly.
It doesn't matter, because like, oh man, I could talk about this forever, because it's just like a shitstorm of stuff that's happening to young girls out there. There's just so much going on with them getting abused, and the way it's happening is crazy. It's being kept hush hush, all because of culture, and that they literally don't know how to talk about it because they're in fear mainly of their image rather than their well-being, which is so shit. Because obviously the Muslim community, if they find out a girl's been raped, they don't actually look at her like a rape victim, they look at her like she slept with someone. Yeah. So the girl who sent the email in, take action now, stay away from him, do not trust him, do not go somewhere with him. If he says come upstairs to my room again, don't do it, and tell your mum or your dad, whoever you feel most comfortable with, straight away. Tell them exactly what happened. Tell them exactly how you feel. Tell them exactly, honestly. And they better, if you're underage, they better call the police on him, man. Because, you know, these videos, we kind of just press record and go with it. We don't really plan anything. We just find an email on the spot and do it. But these ones, we're kind of planning and working with getting somebody else in on the video, like professional. And hopefully we'll have an outlet for all the young girls that are going through this sort of stuff to talk to someone and get help. But in the meantime, girls, be on the ball with stuff. Be on the ball. You know what I mean? If it feels wrong, it's wrong. It's better to be safe than sorry. This was a depressing one, but hopefully it was good. It was a good one. To talk to these girls, yeah. Hopefully you got something good from it. Your uncle kissing you is inappropriate. No, it's not okay for him to do that because you looked at him. It's not okay. That's no excuse. Hopefully your parents will listen and you will prevent anything else happening, inshallah, inshallah. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.